Okay, so this should be a short video because lesson itself is pretty simple. So 5 more than numbers. So I like to translate them, as exactly as they come out. So it's 5 more than is addition, and a number could be on any variable that you choose. Usually we write n because it represents the number starts with n. So 5 less than a number is 5. 5 means 5. Less than implies subtraction, and a number is n. So, but this, remember, is a turnaround word, so we have to adjust it and make it n minus 5. Okay. 7 more than a number. Again, 7 is 7. More than is addition, and number is, I'm just going to change it to a. 8 less than a number, and again, it's 8. Less than is subtraction, and number is 8. But this is a turnaround, right? So this eventually becomes 8 minus 8. Half of a number, here's half. Of means multiplication, and the number is n. So you can write it like that, or you can write it like this. It doesn't really matter. It means the same thing. The difference is subtraction. So we know it's being something. You're going to be subtracting something. And the two things here, two terms are going to be subtracted. So number squared. So here's my number to the second power, which is squared. And 5. 4 is 4. More than is addition. 1/3 is this. Of is near multiplication, and of a number is n. So 4 more than, and if you want to write it this a little better, 4 more than 1/3 of n. There you go. Or if you can even write it as 4 plus n over 3. So either of these two works just fine. 8 less than twice a number. So here's my 8. Less than means subtraction. Twice a number means double it, right? So multiplying by number. So twice, 2 times a number that I don't know of. But it's a turnaround, so we make it 2a minus 8. Okay. A number increased by 5, so again, a number, n, increase means addition, 5 is 5, so my expression is n plus 5. 17, less than is subtraction, a number is n, but then this has to be switched around, right, because of this fellow right here, less than. Half of a number, then we just do this, half a number, n over 2. Or if you want to write it as 1/2 of n times n, that's fine too. Quotient means division, and we're going to represent division with as a fraction, the quotient, and we're dividing two things, n, 9, or n. And if you really wanted to write the other way, which I don't want you to, you can write it like that. Okay, but I'd much rather see you write it like this. Okay. The difference, again, is subtraction. And what the difference is between two things? This and this, so it's between 3 and n. So 3 minus n. A number squared, here's my number squared, c to the second power, right? It's a variable, a letter that I don't know, so, a number that I don't know, which is represented by any letter you want. A number separated into 7 groups, that's a division, so here's my number, and I'm going to split it up into 7 groups, divided by 7. For each of the problems below, diagnose the student misunderstanding by answering what was the error, what was the error made. So 17 less than the number, well, he forgot the error was not switching the term, so the error was, and you can write all that in your sentences and become n minus 17. He forgot that less than is a turnaround word, and we have to change the order here into n minus 17. The error was made because, good question, I don't know, maybe because he or she did not remember that, if it was just less, that he would be correct. But because it's less than, we have to turn around. So he maybe wasn't paying attention to detail or forgot. Okay. The correct answer is, and we just talked about it, the correct answer is n minus 17. Quotient of 5 in a number. So the quotient is division, right? So here's my division. But the order matters here. It's a quotient of 5 and a number. This is a correct answer. So, person here, he reversed the order, right? That says the quotient of n and the number, n and 5, of a number and 5. I'm sorry. Okay, so the order is extremely important. So, because it's not the same as that, right? So the error was that he put the 5 as here. This 5 went to the denominator, and the a number was the numerator. It should have been 5 over n, right? This we write it in the order in which was written Why was the error there? Because he doesn't or she doesn't know that order does matter in division. It's right because again the quotient of 5 in a number it's 5 divided by n. That's the correct, which is this, right? And in division is not commutative, so 5 divided by n is definitely not the same thing as n divided by 5. Right? They're completely different. And we already talked about the correct answer, and the correct answer is 5 over n. Okay, so this one, 12. I'm going to actually do it over here. So 12 is 12. Less than is subtraction. And then 15 times a is 15a, right? There's a little dot there. But there's a little adjustment we have to make because of the word less than, and that actually becomes 15a. Actually, got to do it under 15a minus 12. It's a turnaround. Product means multiplication, and who are we multiplying? E and 4, right? So we're going to write multiply E and 4, or 4 times E, and then it says a comma there, right? And then we're going to, I'm going to put this in parentheses, 4 times E, and then divide by 12. So actually, what I'm going to do is because we're going to write over here. So 4 times E, and then divide it by 12. So we're going to multiply 4 in this variable, and then divide it by 12. So the answer should be that way. If you chose to write it horizontally, you can get 4e, and then divide it by 12. We want to make sure we do this first. Okay? Twice the sum of a number and 600. So twice, 2 times what? The sum. So we got to multiply. So we first we got to do the sum of a number and 600. So sorry, I keep forgetting that. I'm going to do it under it. So twice means 2 times. We're going to multiply the sum of a number and 600. So we're adding a number and 600. So we want to add these first, and then whatever answer we get, we want to multiply by 2. And in order to do that, we got to protect that addition with a parentheses, because this makes sure that we add first, and then we multiply by 2. Okay. 48 is 48. More than is addition. Quotient now is division, right? So 48 plus the division, and what are we dividing? A number, so that goes on top. And 64 goes down here. 48 plus the quotient of a number and 64. Y less than 18, so y is y, less than is subtraction, and then 18 times 8, or h, or just 18h. Well, because again, this one, we're going to switch the order, and it becomes 18h minus 1. Alright, so it's going to get a little longer, and I think. So 3 times, so again, 3 times, and what are we multiplying? We're multiplying the difference of a number square, and so the difference means subtraction. So we're going to multiply 3 times the answer of a subtraction problem, and to protect the subtraction problem first, I'm going to put in parentheses. So 3 times, and what are we subtracting? A number squared, or n to the second power, and 82. The first thing we have to do is subtract these two, and then multiply by 3. And in order to do that, I have to protect my subtraction with a parentheses. The square of the product of 6 and the number. So we're going to take something to the second power. What are we taking to the second power? The product, right, which is multiplication of what? 6 and a number. So we're going to multiply these two and then raise it to the second power. Or we can do this. 6 times n, and then whatever answer I get, multiply to the second power. So here we're supposed to write, there's so many different ways we can write it. But this says I'm going to write, let's see, twice, right, 2 times, twice the product of 4 and a number I don't know. So I want to multiply these two, 4 and a number, 4 and a number I don't know, and then double it, right? This one says a number squared. A number to the second power. You can write a number to the second power. A number to the second power. I'll write that. A number to the second power. Plus what? Plus 4. And what's 4 doing with the parenthesis? 4 times, right? Remember? 4 plus 4 times. And what is the 4 multiplying here? 4 is multiplying this addition, right? Plus 4 times the addition, or the sum, or or the sum of a number and 7. Okay. Exit ticket, well, you can do it. Okay, so we ran out of time. Which algebraic expression represents 18 less than 1/3 of a number? N. So 18, so before I even go to my multiple choice, let me try to do it. So here's 18. Less than means this, a subtraction. 1/3 looks like this. And 1/3 of what? A number, N. Now, because less than is a turnaround word, I'm actually going to change the order. 1/3 N is going to go to the front, and 18 goes to the back. So this is what I got. Is there anything that looks like this? Anything that has anything that has 18 in the front is wrong. So that's wrong, and that's wrong. So it's going to be either B or C. Well, if you look at B, the 3 is in the denominator. If you look at C, the 3 is on top in the numerator. So it can't be C. It has to be B. Write an algebraic expression. Okay, so 10 more than a number. So 10 is 10. More than is addition, a number. Let's call N. The quotient of a number in 3, here's quotient, a fraction. And what comes up top? A number. What's at the bottom? 3. A scholar wrote the following algebraic expression to represent the phrase 8 less than twice a number. So let me actually do it. 8 less, 8 is 8, less than means subtraction, and then twice a number is 2a or 2x or whatever, right? So, and because the word is less than, I'm going to have to switch the order. 2x comes first, and then the 8 goes in the back. So this is my real answer. Well, obviously it doesn't match his. He literally translated, right? Like I did in the beginning. He did this part. But he forgot to adjust his expression because of the word less than. So you can write all that explanation that it's not correct, although if you literally translate it without making an adjustment, he does it, he does get most of it right, but he forgot to switch the order of the terms. Okay, so, and that's that. So that was an easy video.